Hello and welcome to a Not So Awesome Review. And today we're looking at the Transformers Studio Series of Blackout. This is number 8 in the series, and I gotta say, I do like this figure a lot, though there is one major thing that really bugs me about it, and I will talk about it in a second. But first of all, size-wise, this thing is pretty big. It's about 18 inches across from one tip of the propeller to the other, and about 4 inches tall in vehicle mode here. Or, like, yeah, it's a vehicle. Helicopter's a vehicle, right? Yeah. One thing is, and I've seen other people being able to get this right. This could just be me, and that's coming undone a little bit. Uh, I can't seem to get this top part to close right. I've seen other people's, post picture on Instagram and stuff where they have theirs closed and everything looks really nice. I just can't seem to do it. Maybe the body isn't bent perfectly good or something. I don't know. I mean, those instructions, honestly, that come with Transformers, I'm not a big fan of. It's just a bunch of arrows pointing in directions. I would like some words to explain to me what I'm supposed to be doing so I can figure it out along with those pictures of arrows. But aside from that, detail wise, the helicopter mode does look really nice. Just glaring issues like that, but I really don't care. Like that's like, we're just like a little port or something. On the other side doesn't really have one, so it looks better from this angle in my opinion just because of that. But yeah, it looks really good. I even saw some pictures of model airplanes of the same type of helicopter, and it looks basically the same as this, just minus the Decepticon logo that we get here in the front, and obviously more actual pilot seat on the inside. And it almost makes me want to get one of those and use that as a stand-in for his vehicle mode. Have him kind of stand in front of it. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I doubt I'll do that, but it would be a good idea. You can see there is some gray kind of chipping onto the white here, which I just noticed right now, and it is a really, I wouldn't say flat color, but it is gray pretty much all the way through. Just some black pieces on here and some, like decals and stuff. USAF 400 or 4500X. Danger, keep away. Blackout written up there. Uh, could use some maybe panel lining or something, but otherwise it still looks good without panel lining or anything. The clear helicopter cockpit here looks really good. You can see they even did detail here along on the inside that looks nice. The window, I wish they had done this to all the windows, to be honest, but that would have been nice. I'm just saying. But aside from that, the tail does spin, and this does count as his weapon. It comes off as a separate piece that ports in and out of here, and the actual helicopter part up here, the propeller does spin, but it's a little stiff, but it still gets the job done, and it's awesome. I really don't have anything to complain about it, except for, yeah, I really wish they had at least covered this end of it up to at least here. So when you look at it from behind, it's not a giant open piece of plastic. And you can see, I mean, this, like, I get it. It's where all the pieces are kind of hidden and it's transformed and stuff. By the way, it does have wheels here, but they don't turn. But here, I really do wish there was, like, a piece of plastic covering this just so it feels a little bit more solid. That would be my only real big complaint about this thing. Aside from that, he does come with the little, is it Scorponok, right? I don't know if I'm actually, that might be a Beast War thing. I don't remember. The little scorpion dude from the movie as well. And don't hate me just because I don't remember the name. The paint on it is really good. The gold on it is really nice. The silver on it is really nice. The red eyes. The only plasticky looking thing is really the arms slash legs and tail, and the back piece right here. That's a pretty plain color, but other than that, looks good. Is somewhat posable. The arms move side to side, and the tail can rotate or hinge. I guess would be the better word. And yeah, it's a good size too. So nothing bad to say about that. Anyways, let's get this thing transformed and see how he stacks up next to some of the other Transformers after we do articulation. Yeah, that's how that works. So here's Blackout completely transformed, and I gotta say, he is a pretty nice size figure. I've seen some people complain online saying that he's closer to a Voyager size. I don't know how true that is. I don't have a Voyager with me to kind of compare, but I would say on his own, he is definitely a really good size. To the top of his head, he's about 8 inches. To the very top, he's closer to 10 from right around here in the back, and Yeah, he surprisingly has very little balancing issues. Unless you got one with loose joints at the knees, I don't think you're going to have any problems getting this guy to stand up. Because, for one, his feet were done really well, where you can see they come out to the back a lot, and that definitely helps, especially because he has this giant, almost backpack looking thing going on here, which I couldn't figure out if this piece is supposed to go up a little bit more, or it's supposed to go all the way down. I mean, it bends. My assumption is it's supposed to bend in. I don't remember how it was when I got it. You would think, oh, maybe it's supposed to peg in somewhere. No, it doesn't. Like I said, I don't remember how it was in the packaging, but yeah, you can see the propellers do sit back here all nice and neat. And I really do like the figure. I mean, he has a very good amount of just fine detail. Now, the paint could be better. The paint could be like bringing out all the detail, a little bit of a black wash on the arm, inner arm right there, something going on with the legs and the inner skeleton right here. But aside from like it kind of needing something like that to bring out the detail, it's still there. It's still visible. You can see somebody did go and did do a lot of work with this guy. Now there are some imperfections, like a few little scrapes here and here, kind of I'm guessing again where they cut it out, the sprues and stuff. But aside from small things like that, it is a very, very nice looking figure. The paint, what little paint there is, on the blackout symbol here, on the decals, it came out good. The face, I think, came out amazing. I mean, the red eyes, the fact that it is a two-tone color right there, it's not just, one plastic piece, it is really good. I really do like that. And just, it's an intimidating looking Decepticon. I will give it that. I really like it. Few complaints would be no rotation at the wrist. I really do wish he had that because his hands. Let me move this one up so you guys can get a better look. But his hands, I don't know, something about them seems off with the fact that it's two fingers and like a thumb, and I don't know. I feel like I should, if they were rotated to the side on both sides, I think it would look more natural. Here it looks really, I don't know, weird claw esque. And that's on both of them here. You can see I do have the propeller attached. If you don't want it to, you can just pop it off like so. And the piece does bend for when you transform it back into the helicopter. But yeah, it's a nice piece. Again, just pop that in. It does spin. It is a weapon he used in the movie. Articulation wise, not bad. No waist swivel. Again, I feel like they could have incorporated it in, maybe because there is this piece that is attached to the upper body. Uh, I don't know. They might have been able to figure a way around it, but for what it is, again, the detail and everything, it's not bad. Now, let's start off with the arms here because they're a little bit weird. Uh, we do have this kind of inward outward thing going on, so you can kind of, if you want to call that a butterfly joint, you can go ahead and call it that. So it's a little bit of a hinge that goes in and out. The arm hinges up and down to the side like that. There is a hinge here that pushes it forward, so we can get inwards and we can get outwards from there, which is a little bit interesting. It's a little bit weird. And on top of that, he has a joint here at the elbow, so he can bend forward and back from there. And that's pretty much it for the arm articulation, but it is a little bit interesting because, he has that upward and downwards, and then he has a side hinge, and then he has another elbow here. So, yeah, and he does have rotation at the wrist right there, which I guess if you wanted his hands to not look too clawish, you could do that. But then he loses his elbow, and it's so odd. It is really really weird. Aside from that, his legs can move out a very good amount, and you can hear it while I'm doing that. It's like a little bit of a ratchet joint. It can move forward and back. Forward, not too much because of this plastic piece. Back, a very good, decent amount. I believe there's upper thigh rotation. A single jointed knee that can go up to there. And he does have ankle pivot. And he can move his ankles back. Not so much forward, but you can rotate that inner knee forward. So there is that. There's like a basically, there's like an inner knee that goes forward. It can't go back, but you can go back here. So you can do something like that if you really wanted to. But yeah, not bad, just weird in the articulation department. Let me just see if I can move these back to the way they should be. His head, can look up a little bit, can look down a little bit of a pivot, and left and right. I wish he could look up just a little bit more, but I mean, him being on the bigger size, I don't see why he would need to. Um, I think the only figure out so far that is bigger than him is, wow, I forgot his name. Grimlock. Grimlock, out of all of them, I think is the only one that's actually taller than him at the moment. I'm pretty sure Optimus is shorter. I don't know how Megatron's going to compare to him. I can't wait for Megatron, but I think he is the Transformers 2 version, and I want a Transformers 1 version because I'm pretty sure Transformers 1 is like an alien jet looking thing. And, well, I don't know. I think that's cooler than alien tank looking thing. But anyways, let's get on to some size comparisons. Here he is next to Stinger, and after looking at some reference pictures online and trying to determine, is this the right scale? Is this helicopter actually to scale with the vehicle modes? I it's so hard to tell. I want to say yes. Now, it could be a little bit bigger, maybe it's just a little bit off, but from all the indication I can look up and seeing, people standing next to it and kind of determining how big this actually is compared to a person, compared to, let's say, Stinger here, I want to say it is probably in scale, though I feel like maybe it could be just an inch bigger all the way around, just an inch wider all the way around, an inch taller all the way around. Either way, it is really really close, if not in scale with the car form here, or vehicle form here of Stinger. So that's a good thing, because one thing that we are being told is that this line is supposed to be in scale with each other as best as they can do it, I guess. So seeing that, knowing that, I would give it a pass. And yeah, let's just move on. So here he is compared to Ratchet and Bumblebee in their alt modes, and man, he is like two Bumblebees high, basically. And it's not as impressive with Ratchet. Ratchet obviously is a bigger character, but next to Bumblebee, I mean, that is a good bit taller, and I really do like just the size of this guy, the enormity of this guy. Is that a word? I don't know if it's a word. I didn't pronounce it right, but it is a word. But look at it's just so nice looking, especially with these two guys there. Again, here is Stinger. I didn't bother transforming him because he is just around the same height as, well, in between Bumblebee and Ratchet, basically. So it's not something I really matters, though. If you guys want, I will probably have some pictures with all of them up on my Instagram, so you guys can check that out. But yeah, I really am liking this. I'm liking this entire wave. I know a lot of people don't like the Michael Bay Transformers, the movies anyway, but the Transformers themselves, for the most part, aren't bad. I mean, they're different. I understand that, and I really do like the look of the G1 Transformers. The faces on those, I think, look amazing, but you got to respect the fact that these on their own, they look pretty darn amazing too. So there is that. You just be a fan of the figures. If you're not a fan of the movies, you can still be a fan of the figures and how they look, even if you think they act badly. But yeah, that's just a whole thing for another video. But again, seeing this, it makes me so happy. It really does. Anyways, real quick size reference, here he is next to Marvel Legends Iron Man. You can see he is still a good size bigger than him. I don't know how he would compare to someone like maybe Hulkbuster, or what was another big one that we got? Juggernaut. I want to say he's still bigger than them, especially because of this giant like turbine piece back here. But it's not as impressive seeing it next to Marvel Legends, but it's still pretty darn cool. So overall, I do really like this figure. I think the detail on him is really good. I know I heard that they do or did get the original files from the movies to help them make these. So, they were guided with all the detail and stuff, but still, somebody did have to go in there and engineer it for a figure. And whoever did a great job. The face sculpt, I think, is great. Again, that's thanks to those files, I guess. That's what I hear. I didn't find it on the Wikipedia page, so I can't 100% confirm that. But either way, it is a really nice looking figure. The fact that we get this little guy here is a nice bonus, especially since he drops him off in the movie in the desert and kind of uses him. So it's just a nice nod that they're trying to keep the detail and everything together. They know what they're doing here. Now, again, there's a few things I wish it could have had, like the swivels at the wrist. I think wouldn't have been hard at all for them to implement. it would have been so easy, and it would have just added a little bit better posing options and just made the arms look a little bit less awkward. And the giant empty back piece from when he's in his alt mode, I really wish there was a piece of plastic that we could put in there, even if we had to kind of take it off and leave it to the side when he's transformed. I would have been fine with that as long as it covered it, because it really does not look nice when you're looking at it from that angle. I know probably most people won't be. If you're displaying it in its alt mode, you probably won't be showing that, but still, I would like knowing it's there and not there and making it look cheap without it. But aside from that, great looking figure. $50. Is it worth it? I gotta say, yeah, I actually think it is. There's no real balancing issues. It stands up good. I did, fail to mention, this piece does actually move forward. You can get his feet to kind of kick forward a little bit. It is limited, but you can move his feet forward, and it just adds so many good posing options. The fact that his legs are so big helps him with his balance. Would otherwise he'd be falling backwards. The ratcheted joints definitely help keep that balance, and just the aesthetic, the way he looks, the size of him compared to the other Transformers, all of it, being as accurate as they can make it, I think is a bonus. And I got really nothing else to say about it. Now, if you're sitting here thinking, "Oh, he's not accurate compared to this other Transformer from this other line." Well, he's not supposed to be. Studio Series, think of them as their own little pocket Transformers that are to scale with themselves. And so far, although I do still feel like his alt mode could be just a tiny bit bigger, I gotta say, from looking at pictures online and stuff, I think it's accurate, and that's a good thing. We're getting what we were told. One more little complaint right now that I'm looking at it. I do kind of wish this was filled in, not just see-through plastic, but or empty plastic, I should say. But that's besides the point. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, comment down below, hit the like button, all that cool stuff. I will hopefully be back with more Transformers review either later in the week, probably next week. I am definitely going to try and get that Optimus Prime and Starscream. I will have an Amazon affiliate link for this guy in the description below. If you don't see him for retail price, keep checking back because he does pop up on there. People are selling it for 80, but be patient. He will pop up for retail price. That's what I did, and pick him up when it does that. Even if it is kind of like a 1 to 2 days extra waiting, just do that, and you'll be happy. Don't overpay for him, but you know just wait for that deal. Sometimes you'll even see him for a few dollars less. So if you're lucky, that'll happen. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.